Welcome to the Putting English to 1, 2, and 3 online webinar. Okay, today, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you some compelling reasons why you should use our PTW online course. I'm going to demo uh, what students do on the course and what the teacher's responsibilities are. We're going to talk about some technical requirements. And of course, as you know, the obstacles students face. And I want to provide you with some keys to success to help you better serve your students. And then, of course, we can't end the session without me issuing a challenge to you as you go back to your classrooms, or, you know, considering the situation with the COVID-19, to your Zoom classes, okay? And we're going to talk about how your school can get access, all right? So why use Putting English to Work online? First of all, it was created by ESL teachers like yourself, teachers with a lot of experience who know and understand the needs of our students. These are not some courses created by vendors for profit. These are complete Putting English to Work 1 is a complete beginning low course. It follows the LAUSD DACE ESL course outlines completely. Beginning high is the level 2 course. PTW3 is the intermediate low course. Complete ESL courses. There are 68 half-hour videos with workbook exercise activities and unit assessments, all on Moodle. No DVDs, no workbooks to handle. Your students don't have to buy any paper workbooks. For Putting English to Work 1, this is my favorite part. 98% of all the workbook exercises are automatically corrected by Moodle. All the unit assessments are corrected by Moodle. For Putting English to Work 2 and 3, 50% of the workbook exercises are corrected by Moodle. All the unit assessments are corrected by Moodle, which means that your main job as the online teacher is to facilitate the students' process, to orientate them, to guide them through the course. Okay? Half-hour videos. No one is ever going to make an online English course like this anymore with videos. That takes real production. Today, many of the courses that we purchase, are vocabulary-based, grammar-based, fill-in-the-blank computer programs. These are half-hour videos with real narratives, real characters, and they're the stories that our students face coming to a new country, trying to find work, learning to speak English, creating a sense of community, making new friends, planning their futures. These stories and the videos mirror the stories that our students experience in their real lives. And of course, last but not least, learning online is the 21st century life skill, not only for our students, but for ourselves as well as teachers, right? Because we have to be honest, considering the environment that we're operating in these days. We don't know how much longer adult ed will be around, right? Considering what happened back in 2012. So learning this will help us transition if we need to, okay, to another career. So where are the courses located? They're on the internet at adultedcourses.org. Okay, today I'm going to show you what the students have to do, how a student accesses the course, how they complete and submit exercises and unit assessments, and how they can download materials, books, vocabulary songs, readings, and from the teacher's point of view, what you're going to have to do to guide your students through the online process, how you assign grades, how you review student work, how you communicate with your students through Moodle. Okay, so let's get started. The courses are located at OTAN's website entitled adultedcourses.org. I'm going to open my browser and I want to type in adultedcourses.org. And I'm going to look on the upper left corner, you can see right here, it says login, username, password. You can easily create your own account. And I encourage you to do that. Not right now, because you need to pay attention to what I'm doing, okay? After the webinar is over, create your own account. It's as easy as choosing a username and a password, and then entering your email address. And you will get a verification email. Simply clicking on that will log you in, okay? So I'm gonna log in today as a student. And here I am on the upper right corner of the screen. You can see it says Student Young. That's my online student name. And I'm gonna click here on OTAN Other Shared Courses to get to the PTW classes, okay? And as I'm going through this webinar today, don't worry about remembering everything that I'm doing. Instead, put yourself in the frame of mind of a student and look at how the website, the courses are organized, how they are laid out on the website, and what the students' responsibilities are, because that is going to be your biggest challenge, okay? Using the website is the easy part, how you're going to access the student's record, how you're going to view the student's progress, how you're going to assign a grade to those exercises that need your attention. That's easy, okay? What is the challenge is, how do you integrate and orientate your student to this new process of learning online, okay? So here, just to recap, I logged into adultedcourses.org. This is the first page, and you can see on the first page, all these schools are listed here from throughout the state of California. And once you submit a request for the online courses, your courses will be created under the link to your school. For example, if I click on LAUSD's Los Angeles Technology Center, there are a number of teachers here who have their own online courses. See, they're putting English to Work 1. This is Mr. Briseno's class. Okay, and this is how your class will look, okay? But today we're gonna visit my courses, and my courses are located here under OTAN Other Shared Courses, okay? I'm gonna click on Sample, putting English to Work 1, and this is what the course looks like. Putting English to Work 1 is a complete beginning low ESL course based on the LAUSD course outline. And you can see Unit 1 through Unit 20. 20 units are here on the very first page. Under each unit, you'll see the title of the unit. Under the title, you'll see a brief synopsis of what occurs in the story of that episode. In this case, Miguel signs up for an English class at the local adult school. You get a brief summary of the life skills, the alphabet, introduction, classroom objects, and a brief summary of the grammar that is going to be touched upon in this unit. And right away, the student has access to the video.
vocabulary. T-H-A-N. Oh, and how about some coffee and some of Lucy's pumpkin pie heated with ice cream?
That's Miguel. He's having a problem
Your waitress will
understanding,
bring your pie right
and
out.
he realizes at this
Thank
point he needs to go to adult school to
Miguel.
improve his English.
You work
As you can
hard.
see, the video, though not high definition, has a very acceptable video quality. It started streaming right away as soon as I clicked on it without delay. It plays full screen. The quality is very, very nice, more than acceptable, okay? So I'm gonna close the video, okay? And to enter the unit, I'm gonna click on the unit's title. And here we have all the exercises from exercise 1 to the unit assessment test, all listed under unit 1, okay? And on the very first link at the top, there's another option to watch the video, to access the video. And what is the difference, you might ask? In the first example, when I clicked on the link, the video opened up in a separate window. That way, the student can always have that window, that video opened while they're working on the unit exercises. They could always refer to the video, okay? But they can also watch the video while it's embedded on the page. They don't have that much screen space, okay? Under the video, it says download song, download music video. So every unit in Putting English to Work 1 has a vocabulary song that the students can, listen to, enjoy, and practice to improve their vocabulary. And they can download that song in the MP3 format and carry it with them on their phone or have it on their computer, tablet, any device they want. And they can also download the music video. So let's take a look at that. Download music video. I clicked on that link and it's downloading. And here it is.
That's the alphabet. 26 letters. Each letter is very important. Watch and listen.
Yo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
So the students can keep this on their phone, any device they want. By the end of the course, they will have all the vocabulary songs. Of course, the first unit is the beginning one, and it's going to be vocabulary, but some of the other ones are parts of the body, occupations, holidays, clothing, medical conditions. So the students will have access to all of this extra material when they download the media files. Here on your progress, these little check boxes are something that the students can tick off to remind themselves that they've completed that item, okay? So let's look at the exercise 1, vocabulary. Before I go there, I want to show you the resources available to you at the top, okay? Here, to help you lesson plan, the DACE LAUSD course outline for beginning low is available for you. Okay, you can click on that and here it is, okay? The course competencies and objectives are listed here, okay? And this can help you lesson plan, all right? And if you want to distribute the old traditional workbooks, they're all here, available for you to download on PDF. And you can distribute them with your students. You can download them individually or here, all of them in one complete folder. Let's take a look at one. Those of you who are familiar, who've seen the traditional workbooks, will recognize this. These are the booklets that the students used to pay $3 or $4 for, right? And the only difference here is that this is in color, right? The books, the workbooks were distributed in black and white, and many of you will recognize this, okay? So this is what the first exercise looks like. Vocabulary 1, exercise 1 of unit 1, okay? The course outline is available to you. All the student workbooks are available to you. And here, these are the guides that will help you grade your student work, okay? And again, therefore, you don't need to worry about taking notes and trying to remember everything I do. Again, I'd rather have you put yourself in the state of mind of a student right now and imagine what the student will have to go through in order to be able to use this course fluidly, okay? So here, under grade email, I have a Word doc for you that is a click-by-click guide to show you how to grade your students' work through the email. As you can see, it has verbal instructions at the top and large pictures with red arrows, big red arrows. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong following this guide click by click, okay? So there are two ways to grade student work. One, through the email notification. Each time a student submits work, you will get an email notification, okay? And there are two ways to review student work. You can do it through the email notification, or you can access it when you're in the course itself, okay? And this is the document to show you how to do that. And not only do I have the document, I have a video guide. We won't watch it right now, but when it comes time to grade, we'll watch this video and you can see how detailed it is in guiding you through the process, okay? So now let's go back to Unit 1 and put our mind of a student. A student comes here, and what you're gonna have to teach your students how to get to this course, right? They're gonna have to go to adult.courses.org, scroll down to find your school, and then go into the link of the school and then find the course, okay? So and then once they get into the unit, just start from the first one and work their way down, okay? So here, putting into work 1, exercise 1, I'm gonna click attempt quiz now to start. And you can see this looks just like the workbook, right? So this is a simple matching exercise. And what's great about it is that the students are going to be typing in one letter at a time to match the vocabulary with the picture. So let's try that. Board, that's F, okay? Calendar, that's H. Okay, so we all know how this works, right? What if we made a few mistakes, okay? What happens then? Or here are 2 buttons. One is check and one is finish attempt. Let me explain what they do, okay? When a student has finished an exercise, to submit the exercise, the student clicks this button entitled finish attempt and on the lower right corner. But with this exercise, there's also a check option here. What that does is it allows the student to correct the work before she submits it for a final grade. That way, if she finds errors, she can make those corrections before she submits them for a final grade, okay? If not, and she submits them and finds out that she has, a number of errors, and she wants to get a better grade, students can submit an exercise as many times as they want to improve their grade, okay? But if they submit it without checking, they'll have to start all over again and, type in each letter again, and that could be kind of tedious, right? So the check button allows you to make corrections before you submit for a final grade. And in order for the button to really work, every item has to be filled in before the check button works. Okay, so I've filled in the boxes, and now I'm going to click check. And as you can see, there are a number of mistakes. And when I roll my cursor over each item, I get feedback. In this case, oh, correct, excellent, okay? This one is incorrect, and it's telling me the correct answer is A, and now I can change that, okay? And the next one is telling me the correct answer is G, so I can change that, okay? And the student can go ahead and make all these corrections before she submits for a final grade, okay? So let's try that, okay? I'm not gonna correct all of them. I just wanna show you what happens if a student submits with wrong answer, okay? So finish attempt and submit all and finished, submit all and finish again. So there are 3 buttons to click on, okay? Finish, submit all and finish, submit all and finish 3 times. And here at the top, you can tell me, you can see a record of this activity, the date, how long it took, and the grade, okay? So what happens now is, as you can see, I submitted this exercise for a final grade without checking, and I cannot correct this at this time. If I wanted to get a perfect grade, I would have to click finish review, reattempt quiz, start all over again. Okay, so that was the benefit of having that check button there, okay? All right, so to go back to Unit 1, I can follow this trail here at the very top, okay? You can see I'm on exercise 1, the vocabulary exercise. To go back to Unit 1 is here. If I were to click here, I would go back to Putting English to Work 1, where we saw all 20 units. And so we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to Unit 1 right here, okay? So I've finished exercise 1. I'm going to click that as a reminder. And we're just going to look at exercise 2. Okay, attempt quiz now is basically the start button for that exercise. And this is the students will watch the video. And the good thing about
Look at the alphabet page in your
is that in the old days, the student would have to try to find this moment on the DVD that corresponds to this exercise. But on Moodle, the clip from the video, it's already on this page. And you can see this is for beginning level 1, the students simply begin by typing a letter to match the column on the left, okay? A simple, very basic typing exercise, okay? Which in a step way, we're gonna get the students started in typing, okay? So we had a matching exercise. We had a simple typing the letter exercise. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm just going to show you some select items to show you the variety of activities we have here. This is exercise 7, and again, it's a vocabulary match. You see a picture, and here's a pull-down menu. I'm going to say, and the student chooses the correct vocabulary word from this pull-down menu. And on this exercise, there is no check button. Why? Because there are only 4 items, okay? And if the student needs to redo this exercise, she can simply start the attempt again because there are only a few items here, okay? So I want to click finish attempt. Remember, you have to click it 3 times. Submit all and finish, submit all and finish. And now I have a grade. And remember, students can do an exercise as many times as they need or want to, okay? So that's exercise 7. And now we're going to look at exercise 8. Attempt quiz now. So this is the first attempt to actually type a vocabulary word, okay? Again, the same things apply. As you can see, this is a rather large exercise. Therefore, there's a check button here so that the student can review her work before she submits it for a final grade, okay? We can try a few things. Remember, in order for the check button to work, every box has to have a letter in it, okay? So I'm just gonna randomly type in some things so that I can activate the functionality of this check button, okay? So, correct, not correct, because I added an S. I said pencils instead of pencil. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete that S. And here, oh, board is correct. So what if our students, in this case, what if our students wrote chalkboard? That wouldn't be wrong, right? Let's see what happens if I click the check button again. Oh, now pencil has been corrected. And guess what? Chalkboard is also correct. So board was correct. Chalkboard is correct. What if the student wrote blackboard? Let's try that, okay? Guess what? Blackboard is correct too. Okay, so what happened here? When we created this, on some exercises, we put in multiple correct answers, okay? And that is a unique feature of this online course. Okay, so here, I'm gonna click finish attempt, submit all and finish, submit all and finish again, and it is telling me that it took 2 minutes and 14 seconds and I only got 18% correct, okay? So again, to go back, I'm gonna click Unit 1. I'm gonna check off that. So there were matching vocabulary exercises, pull down menus. Let's look at exercise 10. Attempt quiz now. So this vocabulary diagram comes directly from the book, okay? And this is a multiple choice exercise with radio buttons that the students select, okay? And you know, we don't have to do this one, we'll just go back. I just wanted to show you the variety of exercises that exist in this program, okay? So we'll look at number 10. Oh, no, we just looked at number 10. We'll look at number 11, reading a form. And again, this graphic is from the book. All the exercises on these online courses, Putting English to Work 1, 2, and 3, they're faithful to the book. Okay, 99% of the exercises come from the book. So here, what's the teacher's name? There's a pull-down menu. It's Frank, okay? What's the student's last name? Okay, Nunez. What's the name of the school? Main Street Adult School. What's the class? ESL 1. Who is this registration for? Carlos Nunez. And again, because this exercise only has 5 simple items, there's no need to have a check button here, okay? The student will simply click finish 3 times and receive the score, okay? To go back, I'm going to click on Unit 1. Okay. So next, we're going to look at exercise 12. What's in your backpack? Okay, so on this particular exercise, on the very top, there's an alert in red. It says, your teacher will grade this exercise after you've completed the unit. So why is that? Well, look at here. It says, what is in your backpack? Write the objects that you have in your backpack. So this is an open-ended question. A student can write anything here. And there's no way for us to program into Moodle all the infinite possibilities. So this is the kind of questions that you will have to review yourself and assign a grade to, okay? So I'm gonna say, I have a pen and a book, okay? So remember, on these type of exercises, there will be an alert here, okay? And the students will type in their answer. They're gonna click finish attempt 3 times. And on the very top, you get the same information, the day, the time, how long, but not graded yet. This exercise is waiting for you to review and grade. And we're gonna go through that, okay? So don't worry, all right? Again, you're gonna be explaining to your student how to navigate through this website, how to find your courses, and how to navigate through them and not get lost, okay? And have them develop the habit, the discipline to go through each one of these from top to bottom, okay? So narrative reading, let's look at this, okay? Attempt quiz now. So here, there's a little reading comprehension, okay? And on the top here, let's listen to this audio. I should make sure, oh good, I have a share computer sound on, that's good. Melinda Holt was kind enough to warn me beforehand.
Unit 1, Exercise 15. Carlos Nunez is a student. Carlos Nunez is a student at Main Street Adult School. He's in an English class. His teacher is Mr. Edwards. Carlos's friends are Maria and Louise.
Okay, so we had a nice actress narrate this story in the reading comprehension exercise, okay? And what does it say here? Answer the following questions with complete sentences, okay? So, and guess what? There's a check button here to help us, okay? So I'm gonna say, what is Carlos's last name? His last name is Nunez, okay? What's his teacher's name? His teacher's name is, oh, what's his teacher? Oh, Mr. Edwards, okay, I see it. Mr. Edwards, okay? And here, I'm just going to randomly, for demonstration purposes, randomly put in something because like I said, all the boxes need to be occupied before the check button's functionality is activated. Okay, so now I'm gonna click check and it's telling me number 1 is correct. Number 2 is not correct, but it gives me the correct answer. Look, his teacher's name is Mr. Edwards. Wait a minute, that's what I wrote. His teacher's name is Mr. Edwards. Oh, but what is the problem? Answer the following questions with complete sentences. I'm missing a period. Okay, so now I'm going to add that period and I hit check and now it's correct. But what if a student puts it is Nunez. What is Carlos's last name? It is Nunez. Technically, that's correct, right? If the student answers the question in that manner, let me click check. Guess what? It's correct. What if the student uses a contraction? What is Carlos's last name? It's Nunez. That's correct. So again, Here, we put in multiple answers. We were not able to put in all the infinite possibilities, all the possible ways that a student might answer this question, but what we felt were and could think of were the most likely possibilities that a beginning low student with some English might actually write, okay? So listen, I just want to pause to say that this is a unique feature that you will not find in any English program, where, first of all, none of them require a student to write a complete sentence, right? Most of the English programs you see out there nowadays, and there are many, they're all basically radio buttons. Choose true or false. Choose A, C, or D, or fill in the blank. That's the most typing a student would do, right? Is write a vocabulary word in a blank. None of them require a student to write a complete sentence, and much less to even correct them with multiple possibilities. Okay. So I'm going to click Finish Attempt. Submit all and finish, submit all and finish. So if a student sees this and says, oh, you know what, I want to do better, the student will simply click Finish Review, Reattempt Quiz, and the student will have another chance to complete this exercise for a better grade, okay? Regarding the audio at the top, every unit has a reading comprehension at the end, and they get more elaborate as the course progresses. And here, there's an option to download this audio. So as you can see, I've downloaded this as an MP3 file.
Unit 1, Exercise 15. Carlos Nunez is a student.
The students can put that MP3 file on their phone, and by the end of the unit, they'll have all the narration for all the stories from the entire course. And this does wonders for a student's listening comprehension. They get to keep all this media as long as they want to and need to. The music video, the songs, the reading comprehension narratives, okay? So we're back. I'm gonna check off these couple of things. And here, what's your name? And again, I get this red alert because these are open-ended questions, right? Your teacher will grade this exercise after you've completed the unit, okay? My name is Paul, okay? So whether you want, how you want your students to answer these questions, that's something that you'll have to explain to your students. If all you require of them is the correct answer, that's fine, okay? If you want them to write complete sentences with capital letters and the proper punctuation, that's something you'll have to communicate to them, okay? So here, I'm just going to click Finish Attempt. And again, at the top, you see not graded yet. This exercise is waiting for your review and attention, okay? So we're going to go back to Unit 1. Okay, this is Unit 1, okay? And finally, the assessment, okay? Attempt quiz now. What is Martha's name? What first name, or what is the first name? Martha. Okay, it tells me it's correct. What is the last name? I'm going to choose Sunny. Okay, it's not correct. And there's no feedback because there's only an A or B option. Since Sunny is not correct, we can assume that choose is going to be correct, right? And guess what it is, okay? What is it? I'm guessing it's a flag, right? Oh, it's telling me it's not correct. But look, the feedback, because this is the unit test, the feedback does not give me the correct answer. Instead, the feedback recommends that I review exercise 8. Okay? And that's the difference between the unit assessment and the workbook exercises. Okay? The workbook exercises, the feedback, if it's not correct, will offer you the correct answer. Okay? But with the unit test, it would direct you to the exercise for review. Okay? So this one is correct. And again, I'm going to click Finish Attempt, Submit All and Finish, and Submit All and Finish. Okay? So we were here on Unit 1, right? And this is our trail. This is where we're coming from. So if I'm in Unit 1 right now, and if I click one more, I'm back looking at all the units that comprise Putting English to Work 1. And again, conveniently on this page, you see every single unit with a title that gives you an idea what it's about, a synopsis of the story, a brief summary of the life skill and grammar exercises. And on this very first page, all the videos are available, okay? So let's go back. I'm gonna go back one more to OTAN Other Shared Courses, okay? And then let's look at Putting English to Work 2, okay? Putting English to Work 2. Again, you see the course outline on top. You see a breakdown of the objectives and the competencies. All the student workbooks are available to you, okay? If you want to share these with your students, okay? And again, on this very first page of Putting English to Work 1, all 24 units are listed with the unit title, narrative synopsis, summary of the life skills, and a convenient link to the video, okay? So Unit 1, looking for apartment. Marta and Jose are ready to move into the new apartment. What are the life skills? Apartment search, read classified ads, communicate times and dates. Grammar, simple past tense, housing abbreviations. Okay, if I click on that video.
Hello, and welcome to Putting English to Work. I'm Emily Mitchell.
How about this apartment?
In Beverly Hills? Not yet.
Have you found anything?
Okay, so as you can see, there was no delay in that video starting, okay? And the quality, again, though not high definition, perfectly acceptable. The sound was great for our students, okay? So to enter Unit 1, I'm gonna click Looking for an Apartment, okay? And again, under Episode 1, the video is available embedded in the page and not on a separate window, okay? Again, the advantage of having it on a separate window is that the students can keep that video open and refer to it while they're doing exercises in the unit, okay? So looking for an apartment in Part 1, okay? Attempt quiz now. So here, your teacher will grade this exercise after you've completed the unit. Here is the story, looking for an apartment. Marta and Jose are married and they have a beautiful family. He is a gardener and she is a student. Okay, so this is a story in text form about what goes on in the video between the actors and the scenes, okay? So the students watch the video and they see Marta and Jose, okay? They see them interacting. And then they get to read about Marta and Jose, and they get the audio.
Looking for an Apartment, Part 1. Read the stories and answer the questions with complete sentences. Marta and Jose are married and they have a beautiful family. He is a gardener and she is a student. They recently moved to Los Angeles. They are staying at the apartment of Marta.
Okay, so this does wonders for a student's listening comprehension. The fact that they get to watch the story acted out in a real world situation between the characters, Marta and Jose, and then have the opportunity to read about it in text form and to hear the audio read to them by an actor with good pronunciation, okay? And they can download the audio, and by the end of the series, they'll have all the narrations to these stories. So here, again, students are going to answer these questions in their own words, okay? What are Marta and Jose staying at right now? I'm just going to randomly put in something right now. Number 2, where is Jose this morning? He's at work. How many bedrooms are there in the apartment that Marta wants? I'm just going to say 3. Again, you decide if how you want your students to answer these questions. Do you want them to write complete sentences, or is a simple correct answer enough? Okay. I'm just going to put something here for the sake of time. And here's a teacher use only box. And I'm going to explain to you what that means later on, okay? Students don't do anything here, but if they happen to type something in here, is not a problem. As you can see, I've typed something in here. You'll see that it doesn't create any problems, okay? So I'm going to click Finish Attempt, Submit All and Finish, Submit All and Finish. Okay, and again, on the top, you can see Not Yet Graded. Okay? So listen, I'm done with my demonstration from the student's point of view. Okay, right now, I'm going to log out. Student Young is going to log out here. Okay? And I'm going to put on my teacher's hat and pretend I'm coming to work in the morning and I'm going to check my email, okay? And as I told you, there are 2 ways to correct a student's work, right? Through the email or simply by entering the grade book once you're in the Moodle course, okay? So here you see I have a number of notifications from Student Young, okay? So, wait, I forgot to show you one thing. I want to show you, to show you the video, right? We're gonna watch the video, the how to grade video, okay? So let me log in real fast. So this video shows you how to grade work through the email. Remember, you can elect to follow the step-by-step written guide with pictures, or you can watch the video and play and pause as you need, okay? Here's the video. Everybody watch. So we're just going to do exactly what was demonstrated in that video. Okay, so I come to work, I open my email, and I see that a student Young has completed work. And the video instructed us to click on the second of these two links, right? I'm going to click on this. And simply by clicking on that link, I am directed to this exercise right away. Okay, and this exercise is one of those that are automatically graded by Moodle. Okay, but so Moodle has assigned a grade here, right? Imagine that the student wrote the correct answer, but not a complete sentence as the system wants. Okay, I, as the teacher, am empowered to go in here and where it says the mark, save, I can override what the computer assigned to the student's work. I have total control over this course, okay? Writing exercise. Okay, let's look at this one. This is the one we're not yet graded, and these are the ones that require your attention. Okay, so I'm going to look at the answer. What is your name? My name is Paul. What is the name of your school? Los Angeles Adult. Okay, what is your teacher? What is the name of your teacher? A, sounds good to me. What are the names of your friends? A, okay, all looks good. So here I have to add, this is the only one. This is going to be tedious, but listen, of all three courses, this is the only one where you have to go in and physically put in a grade for each item. I know it's tedious, but rest assured, I promise this is the only one of all 68 units, okay? So bear with me. So I'm assigning a grade to each of these items, okay? And once I did, here the grade is updated to 100%, okay? So that's how you grade via email. It is so easy. Okay, you click on the link that is sent to you from Moodle. And if you're already logged in, like I was, you go right to that exercise. There is no searching for it, okay? There is no burrowing through many links to find that one exercise. That link takes you directly to it. And if you're not logged in, to adultedcourses.org, do you remember what happened in the video? By clicking on that link, a browser is launched with the front page of adultedcourses.org prompting you to log in. As soon as you log in, you are taken directly to that exercise. Okay? So right now, I'm already in Moodle, right? And what if I wanted to go look at some students' work? Again, so here is what you would do. It's called grade user report, grading through the user report instead of the email. Let's watch this video. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so imagine I'm already working here. I'm here. I'm looking at various student work, and I want to see how a particular individual is doing. So I'm going to go to grades, right? First of all, you have to be in the course you want, and I'm inputting each work 2. Okay, I go to grades. Okay, I go to user report. And on this pull down menu, I'm going to choose a name of the student. Okay, and look, I have all these students here. I want to choose, I was student young. And I can see that 0% means that I need to grade that. Okay, again, at the top, you see under grade, you say not yet graded. Okay, in the video, it says 0%, right? I think that was an older version of Moodle. Okay, so they went from telling you you had 0% to not yet graded. Okay, so I'm going to look at the first question, and okay, I like the answer. I like the second answer. Make comment. You can make a comment anytime you want right here. Okay, you put it in a comment and save. Okay. So I'm looking at number 3. I like the answers. And remember in the previous exercise with 4 questions, we had to type in a grade for each item. In this case, even though there are 5 questions, we only do it once, conveniently under this very last box that says teacher use only, okay? So we click on this make comment or override mark, and this exercise, right? 5 questions. And here I'm gonna put 5 out of 5. maybe I'll leave a comment too, right? I'm going to say, great job, student Young. Patting myself on the back here. I'm going to hit save. Okay. And right away, the grade has been updated. Okay. And at the very bottom, it says, great job, student Young. So remember, you don't have to leave a grade. You don't have to leave a comment. But remember, I told you to put yourself in the state of mind as a student rather than a teacher as you're following along with me. So, of course, if you are one of those teachers who would like to add a lot of comments, then you'll have to teach your students how to look for them. Okay? All right. So that's basically it. Okay? As you can see, the big challenge for you, the biggest job for you is to teach your students how to use this course, how to navigate through the website, help them understand the layout, help them download the media, find each exercise, submit the exercises, okay? Technical requirements. They used to be a hurdle, not so much anymore. Most of our students have internet, if not at home, definitely on their phones. And the website, the videos, they work great on iPhones and Android phones, okay? Little warning, there's a Moodle app out there. Don't use that, okay? We are not optimized for that. Just use a regular browser on their cell phones and it looks great, okay? The videos, they stream right away. Okay, the obstacles students face. Computer and internet access. This is becoming less and less of a problem. Before this current lockdown, we used to tell students that your local library has free computer access, internet access. So there's access at your school. You have a friend or a family member or a neighbor with computer internet access, okay? Of course, basic computer skills, typing skills. These are the challenges for you as the teacher, okay? Typing. There's a great website called typing.com that teaches typing in the form of a video game. It's so much fun. If you've never tried it, this is one note I recommend that you take right now. Okay, write down typing.com for your students, okay? Navigating adultedcourses.org. So you're gonna have to teach your students how to find a page on a browser, type in adultedcourses.org on the address bar, sign in, log in, scroll down to your school, click on the link, and locate your course and select the unit that they want, okay? Self-motivation, okay, that's a big one, right? I always help them by letting them know that I'm available. Identify the students who have been successful with putting these to work online, have them help their classmates, okay? So the best thing you can do is get to know your students' computer skills, know what level they are, okay? Teach them the website, give them some practical, technical support, create student groups. Remember, I remember in an ESL classroom, you always pair more advanced students with the less advanced ones, and the more advanced ones are always happy to share their knowledge with the new students, right? And the same applies here. Create groups, have them introduce themselves to each other online, have them create chat groups. Okay, let them know that they're not alone. Communicate with them. Let them know that they can contact you anytime. Okay, and that's one thing I want to say to you, that after today's webinar, we're not done. I'm available. You contact me anytime. There is no question too small, no question too ridiculous, too silly. I'm here to help. I want to see you succeed. Okay, so we have a few minutes left. What do you do now that you've watched you've attended this webinar? Okay, so what's next? Okay, I'm going to provide you. Melinda said at the beginning of the webinar that you're going to receive all the documents that I have used today in this presentation, and it includes this one. What do I do now? Okay, it's a step-by-step guide. It looks more complicated than it really is. Basically, I'm telling you your biggest challenge is implementation, right? It's not correcting implementation, meaning working with your students, introducing them to the website, getting them comfortable learning online, orientating them to the whole process. That's your challenge, okay? Correcting work, that's the easy part. I've created two video guides, a step-by-step Word documents with large verbal instructions and pictures with red arrows. That's all easy, okay? How you get your students rolling, that's the challenge, okay? So what I have outlined in this document is that I want you to go to adultedcourses.org and create an email account if you don't already have one, okay? Not create an email account, create an account to adulted.org with your email, your official email, okay? And go into OTAN, other shared courses, and click on sample, putting English to Work 1. And here on the upper right, you don't have to write any of this down. I have the steps on that document, okay? Fill out a form here. You're gonna fill out a form to submit a request to OTAN. Marjorie, who usually fills these orders, will create the courses for you. Give her a few days, but while you're waiting, try these courses. Do what I did today. Click through each of them, watch the videos, try the different exercises, look at putting English to Work 2, look at putting English to Work 3, okay? Listen to this from Putting English to Work 3.
Hopes for the Future, Part 1. An Nguyen and Jose Avila were at work at the Main Street Cafe. The cafe was a restaurant in Hollywood, California. Jose was washing dishes and An was waiting on tables. When An came back into the kitchen, she started to talk with Jose.
Okay, do you hear that? This OTAN hired professional actors to do these voices. These are not those the audio you hear in some of the English learning computer programs. Those are computer generated voices. They don't have, if you listen carefully, those voices do not have the warmth, the intonation, the resonance, the articulation of real human actors. And the students can download these audio to help them with understanding, listening comprehension, and pronunciation. Okay, so I digress. Click through these courses while you're waiting for Marjorie to fill your order, okay? Get familiar with them before you can feel comfortable working with your students online, offering PETW 1, 2, and 3 with them. You have to feel comfortable navigating these courses, understanding what the functions are, what the features are. Okay, so that's really your first job, okay, is to learn what the student does when the student comes to this website, okay? So devise a plan to support your students. And here, contact me with any questions, okay? No question too small, too silly, too ridiculous. I want to see you succeed, okay? And if there are enough interest in a follow-up, a part 2 to this, make a request to OTAN. They are the nicest people, the most accommodating people, and they want to see you succeed. And we might be able to offer another webinar before the school year is out, okay? So this is the challenge to you, teachers, okay? Offer your students 24/7 access to learning. And that's more important than ever, considering the climate that we live in today, at this very moment in history, right? Expand your blended class skills. Okay, the world is changing every day. You know, when I think about what happened to adult ed in 2012, I wonder about what's next for us after this. What's happening now, right? You know, prepare yourself for future career opportunities. Okay, so here is email address. I want everybody to write this down and contact me. Don't. I hope you do. When I hear from you, even when you know it's a problem, I'm happy to hear from you. And if you're doing something good, you're having success, and you're excited, send me an email too. I would love to share that with our colleagues. Okay, so since we have a few minutes left, I would like maybe to take a few questions, if there are any. Melinda?
Yeah, Paul, Marjorie and Anthony have been answering the questions as we've been going along. So I'm pretty sure we got things covered. I want to reiterate that if you want a course, now that you've seen how great it is, and you want a course, email support@otan.us and do what Paul said, you know, create an account, get in there and test it out. And we'll get you a course as soon as Marjorie's hands fly over the keyboard and try to do that. Paul, there is one question that's come up a couple of times. Do you know if there's a simple video for students that shows them how to navigate through just this PETW course?
You know, I believe me, I considered making one, and I haven't made one because it would require customizing it for each school. You know what I'm saying? Right. The video would have to show a browser opening up, adultedcourses.org being typed into the top, and then scrolling down to the school's name. And for that reason, I have not made one. What are your thoughts about that, Melinda? I mean, I can make one.
I'm a person that thinks out of the box, and I think if you imagine it, it can be done. So let's talk about it, okay?
Okay. It's just that if you watch the ones that I made about grading, they were very detailed and specific, right?
Right.
It's just that for the one step, you know, for the what school do they click on? But we'll talk. Okay. Regarding contacting Marjorie through the email, I've included instructions here on this handout, Melinda.
There you go.
Is
Even
this still,
better. Use the form. Yes.
Is this still relevant?
Absolutely. I'd
Okay.
forgotten all about that. Marjorie was probably cringing when I said support.otan.us. So this will be part of the handout that's going to be posted on OTAN.
Right.
And you will have the link to submit your request to get the course. It's actually a form. Thank you for that correction.
Can I butt in real quick?
Sure.
I think these courses right now are only available to California adult ed agencies. So if you are with a WIOA-funded agency within California, you're going to use the link that Paul is going to give you in the handout. Maybe, Paul, we can add this, but non-WIOA-funded agencies within California, I'm going to type this into the chat. If you could please use this link to fill out the request form. It's https bit.ly/NWM. It's NW Moodle, capital N, W, and M.